morning. Yes, so this month's theme is Rising into New Life. And you should receive the newsletter. I believe it's in there each month, our themes. And my talk title this morning is Living from My Divine Purpose. So, amen already. Okay. So wait, God has planted within each of us a divine purpose. Do you believe that? Yes. How many of you love oak trees? Raise your hand. Yes, look at that. Look at that oak tree. I love oak trees. It's the reason why I actually moved to Orlando, because of all the oak trees. I grew up in Satellite Beach, Florida, and we just pretty much had palmetto bushes. But here there's oak trees, and there's a beautiful one outside, right? Right? I have one in my pocket. I don't know, you probably can't see it. It's called an acorn. I carry an oak tree in my pocket, right? Small enough to hold between two fingers. It's just brown. It's nothing special. Smooth, right? Yet tucked inside of this little acorn is everything that it needs to grow into the majestic oak tree, right? Every branch, every root, the canopy is already written in this one little acorn, right? It's already written. And it's encoded. It's encoded. It knows nothing else other than to start to grow, right? It's not being told you need a 5-year plan. Maybe you should be considering being a palm tree. Maybe you should take a different path or a different career. It just knows. It first goes into its roots and it grounds itself. And then through the pressures on the earth, it starts to crack open. And then it starts to move towards a light that it's not seen before. Think about that. It just knows. And it's the same with you. You are encoded before you were born with a purpose, perfectly embodied, perfect in every way. And before anyone called your name, you were known. You agree? You were known. So living for my divine purpose is not searching for a purpose in life, but instead remembering. Remembering. And going back. Unity's second principle says that we are divine at our core. We are the essence of the God that created us. And therefore, we are inherently good. We are good. Before you were formed, there's a prophet, Jeremiah. And before he's just a boy. They call him the reluctant prophet. The reluctant prophet. And he hears God, and God says, I formed you in the womb. I formed you in the womb, and I knew you. I knew you. And I consecrated you, which means I gave you a divine purpose. But Jeremiah goes, I'm just a boy. I can't do that. Pick somebody else. I don't speak well. Why are you calling on me? And God says, don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Before I formed you, I knew you. Jesus alludes to this in John when he says, you glorified me and loved me. Glorify me and love me as you did before the creation of the world. Before the creation of the world. Before the body, right? Which, by the way, I don't like my side profile anymore. I'm just saying. Got to work on the body a little, right? Before the body, and before the biography, and before the jobs and the career plans, I knew you. I knew you. And I set you apart. Do you believe that? Yeah, it's hard sometimes, though, to accept that. So this month, living from divine purpose is not a career goal. It's a spiritual faculty. It's a spiritual principle. It's a capacity to understand that once awakened, like the acorn, it orients every other power that we have: faith, imagination, strength. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said that Jeremiah represents our highest concept of ourselves. In the womb is the idea in divine mind. The idea in divine mind, which all expression emerges. God knew you before. God knew you and knows you now. Knows you now. It's already encoded. Now, if it's already encoded in us, right, as natural as an oak tree, how do we get off track? Well, I have an answer. I know you all are silent right now, but it's called the ego. Yay! Everybody loves an ego, right? When I was young, I thought, oh, I'm going to be famous. I love movies. I loved TV and everything that had to do about movies. And I'm going to be famous. I went to art school, and then when I did the video portion of art school, I was behind the scenes being a director and a cameraman and an editor, and I knew I love this. And then I went on into life, and I actually became part of a movie. And I worked behind the scenes, and I was an extra in this movie. Okay, and then it goes to the theater, and it flops. Big time. Big time. And I thought, oh no, what's my purpose now? What's my purpose? And so, okay, the movie is a flop. Life takes me to marketing, and life takes me here and there. And then I come across Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And that book changed my life. And habit number 3 is begin with the end in mind. And out of that, somehow I was called to understand that I had a different purpose. And Covey says there's 2 times that we are created. Once in our mind and once in physical world. There are 2 ways that we are created. And so at that point in time, I wrote myself a little mission statement. And somehow I grasped the idea that I believe my purpose on life is to have a positive impact on people's lives and to be of maximum service to God. This was in the 80s, right? 25 years later, I get contacted by somebody who has the rights to the movie. And they want to interview me for a 2-set DVD that's coming out. And I'm like in the extras, right? And somehow this movie has now become this B cult classic. And they had invited me to the Enzion where it was sold out. They're like, wow, I guess I am famous. But the rest of my life between then and 25 years later, many branches went out. I became a director of a marketing firm. I became a sign language interpreter. I became a teacher. I became an administrator. I became, a minister. Over 25 years, my branches went out. But what was my canopy? My canopy was to have a positive impact on people's lives. That was my purpose. It didn't matter which direction I took, right? I still had the canopy. The canopy is your impact. It is your purpose. And how you express that really doesn't matter. Stop looking externally for validation, right? And look internally. You're rising into a new life. This is your divine purpose. Emily Cady, one of the New Thought writers, says that each of us must come to a time when he no longer seeks external help. Inner revelation can only come through an indwelling power that has been there the whole time. It's been there the whole time. Purpose is not a sign from the outside. It's the original idea of God expressed in as you. As you. We all have gifts, yes. Those are our branches. What is our canopy? Right? Here's what I've learned. That when we feel a resistance, when we feel fear to take that next step, it often means that we're on the right track. Right? We're on the right track. And I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I'm too poor, or I'm too whatever, is all external factors. It's all external factors. Think about it, if you're being pulled forward into some idea, whatever that may be, a healing, a conversation, a book, a creation, whatever it may be, it is not random. It is not random. It's your encoded nature looking for the light, going, expressing, right? Whew. The same presence in me, or the same presence that called me, is the same presence that equipped me. I'm going to say that again, and then we're going to say it together, so you got to really be listening now. Okay. The same presence that called me is also the same presence that equips me. Together. The same presence that called me is also the same presence that equips me. Yes. Am I willing to see what God sees in me? That's the question. Living from divine purpose. So you may already know your purpose. Maybe you need to refine it a little. Maybe you're not sure what your purpose is. Maybe your branch has gone in a different direction. And all of that is okay. All of that is okay. So, what do? Sit in the silence. First thing we do. Just become quiet. We're not asking or praying to God at this point. You know, sometimes I find myself, God, tell me what to do. And that's okay in the beginning. But I call upon the intuitive voice that shows me what to do. Or I know in my nature, for some reason I need to go this way. Right? Sit in the silence. 2, write a purpose statement. This is not a career statement. I want to be the manager someday. Why? The answer behind that may be to have a broader impact on people's lives, not for control or the money, right? Write a purpose statement, not a career goal, not a list of things I need to do, right? Not a list. It's a spiritual declaration. My purpose is life to have a positive impact on people's lives, whatever that looks like. Because Spirit will show you the rest. Yes? Notice the nudges along the way. That's a hard one. But it's wonderful when it happens. An unexpected invitation, a conversation, synchronicities. Notice the nudges. Notice the nudges. And then finally, release the timeline because it's not your timeline. Release the timeline. It's God's time. Now, I'm not saying there aren't steps that have to be taken, but you're releasing the control and the need to feed the ego. Instead, you're allowing nature to just happen. You're allowing yourself to grow. The job is to stay open, stay willing. Yes? Okay. You were known before. It's already in you. It's encoded. Listen to the still small voice, the drawing. Living from divine purpose is about uprooting your old fears and taking root in the soul of consciousness, the belief in yourself. You're rising to a new life. The spring gives us an opportunity to do that, right? Living from divine purpose requires us to grow towards the light, even if we haven't seen it yet. It will draw us there. And living in divine purpose is the gift that is ours alone to give. Each one of us has a gift. And maybe we're not famous. Maybe some of us are. Maybe some of us will be. But it's who you meet every day sitting next to you in the pew is your canopy. Right? And so I offer this affirmation they're going to put up on screen. And I'm going to read it, and then we're going to read it together. I am a divine idea in the mind of God. My purpose was planted in me before I took form. I release every fear that says I'm not enough. I trust this still small voice that calls me forward. I begin with the end in mind, and the end is love. I am here on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose. And so it is. So let's take that together. I am a divine idea in the mind of God. My purpose was planted in me before I took form. I release every fear that says I am not enough. I trust this still small voice that calls me forward. I begin with the end in mind, and the end is love. I am here on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose. And so it is. Amen. Let these words be our prayer and affirmation and our collective yes. Yes? Yes. Okay. As we prepare for meditation in a new life, let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath. Relaxing the shoulders. If you are new to Unity, this is your first time here, just close your eyes. If you're new to meditation, this is an opportunity for us to just sit and be. There is no right or wrong way. We're just allowing ourselves to absorb the information into our heart space. Take another deep breath and release. Relaxing the shoulders. Allow the arms to just fall naturally by your side or in your lap. Take another deep breath. Allow the thoughts to drift away and move the energy into your heart, breathing from the chest and the diaphragm. anything that happened before church, any noise you may hear now, or anything that you're thinking about this afternoon. We just push those thoughts aside and we breathe from our center. Take another deep breath and release. You're going in to connect with that which is already there. As we think about the acorn, it knows its purpose. For everything that it needs is divinely encoded, divinely given. Knowing when to root, when to grow towards the light. Forming the trunk of strength. Branching out in all different directions, but coming together as one canopy that covers all, protects other life, becomes of service to those that sit underneath it or climbs the branches. Everything given is in you. As we first take a moment to go to our heart space. And as we take a moment in the silence, we're just listening, feeling, just being. Take a deep breath and release. Imagine that connection with divine, a connection you never lost, the yearning and desire to push forward as it grows from your solar plex or from your heart, from deep within. As your purpose becomes embodied and fulfilled, you are a trunk. You are the strength of someone else. You are the protector. You are the way shower. You are the healer. And as you branch out into your life, whether it's new directions, strengthening the core, finding a new path, you are still connected to that main source. For your purpose is the canopy. To be in the light. To express love. And so as you come back to this place and this space, and you become aware of those around you, remember your purpose. and just be who you are, a beautiful child of God and the divine. And so it is. Amen.